The FA Cup, the world's oldest cup competition. Many great clubs have won it, some more than once. He has won it, and so has this guy. But that was when they were on the pitch. This Saturday, they try to win it again, but this time from the dugout. Who comes out on top? Will it be Chelsea? Will it be Arsenal? Let's try and find out. That's right, folks, back once again with another simulation video. Today we have simulated the FA Cup final between Arsenal and Chelsea over 100 times, and we'll get to that in just one sec. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep me bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, FA Cup related, world football related. That's right, boys and girls. Okay, so behind me you should be able to see over 100 snapshots of Football Manager 2020, and I've simulated the FA Cup final between Arsenal and Chelsea, just like it's going to take place this Saturday, August the 1st. We'll talk more about that in just a second. Then you can peruse the scorelines as they go by. We'll take a look at the numbers and all that kind of good stuff in just a second. But I'll shout out to the Patreons, of course, to support the channel the way that they do. Then that's the Dream Team gang of William Shepherd, LG and Cal, Bianca Muller, Daniel Meller, Cody Cahoe, Joachim Johansson, Tom Beresford, Tom Clark, John Spurn, Aztec Marketing Mark, and of course Russell Frost. So respect to all those guys for supporting the channel in the way that they do via Patreon. If anybody else is interested to do that, there is a link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas. So make sure you check that out. But we're here to talk about the FA Cup final between the two London juggernauts, that is Arsenal and Chelsea. Final bit of silverware in the domestic game on the table. Who's going to come out on top? Will it be Arteta's boys or will it be Lampard? Of course, both managers have won it. Mentioned that in the intro, that's right. But who is going to become the FA Cup champions this season? So let's break it down and take a look at the numbers then, shall we? Okay then, so I did simulate the actual FA Cup 115 times. It was meant to be 100, but I did spot a couple of errors in the early days, like transfers weren't right. So I included those because they didn't really change too much, but I wanted it to be closer to the money than it actually was. So here we go. Let's break down some of the stats and details for you coming at you. So here we go. So the highest score by either Chelsea or Arsenal was 4. What I mean by that is out of the 115 simulations, the most goals scored by either of the London clubs in any of the games was 4. Chelsea did it 3 times. Arsenal did it just the once. I'm trying to tease your way in there, boys. Tease your way in there. What else have I got for you? The goal scorers. There was 27 different goal scorers amongst the 115 simulations. Chelsea had 14 of them. Arsenal had 13. Ooh, I'm leading down the garden path now, aren't we? We'll take a look at those goal scorers in just a second. Let's take a look at more about the goals. 252 goals were scored in the 115 games. Chelsea managed 117, whereas Arsenal managed 135. And on average, it's 2.2 goals per game. That's right, 2.2 goals per game. How did I work that out? Well, I got myself a calculator out and I did. So here are, drum roll please, the top 10 goal scorers from number 10 all the way up to the top spot. And maybe, just maybe, you can kind of figure out where we're going to go with these 100 simulations, of course. So starting number 10, Hector Bellerin. He got himself 8 goals across the 115 games. That ain't too shabby. And next up was Oliver Giroud of Chelsea, of course, with 9 goals. It's one every 10-ish. Next up is number 8, Reiss Nelson. He's got 14 goals. Now, I want a disclaimer here. And I didn't pick the teams. It's completely simulated by the computer. Whoever's in charge is in charge. They pick the team. If Reiss Nelson's not even in the starting 11, I don't know. I'm not an Arsenal guru. I'm not Chelsea guru whatsoever. So just bear that in mind. Some of these numbers are a little bit weird. A little bit, I don't see all of it. But I think the fundamentals at the end of it, you could probably get some information out of it. So Reiss Nelson got himself 14 goals, according to my simulation of 115 games on the FM20. Next up, 7 was Alexander Lacazette. He got himself 17 goals across the 115 games. That's not too shabby. Tammy Abraham got himself 18 goals. That's 1 every 2, give or take. Is that right? Not 1 every 2. 1 every 50. 50 games. I don't know. I don't know. Where's my calculator? So every, we got himself 1 every 10, 1 every 5. 1 every 5, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can get the calculator out. We'll get to the nitty-gritty now. Into number 5, David Luiz. That's right, former Chelsea man. Scored 18 goals across the games. A lot of them from the penalty spot. Of course, his hair. With his barnet, he must have got a few with his head. Next up, we have William. He got himself 19 goals across the games. Into the power 3 now. What do we got? What are we expecting? I'm sure we all figure out what one of the top 3 is going to be. But who else is going to be joining him? Well, into third place is Gabriel Martinelli. That's right, the youngster. 22 goals for him. That's not too shabby input. Now, I'll tell you now, we've got one Chelsea man and one Arsenal man in the power 2. And the next up will be a Chelsea man, and it is Mason Mount. Getting himself 30 goals. You can't even see Christian Pulisic in the top 10. What's going on there? Who's been in goal scoring form for real. But Mason Mount got himself 30 goals, which is it's not a bad tally. That's 1 every 3 or 1 every 4, something like that. But he was ousted, of course, by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who is obviously one of the power strikers in the world. And that's why Arsenal are trying to bend over backwards to keep him at the club. Next up, what have we got here? So let's take a look at Chelsea's then goal scorers overall. They're on averaging around about 1.02 goals per game, scored 117 across the 115 simulations. These are their goal scorers. Reece James got himself a goal. Cesar Asapacha, he got himself a couple. And N'Golo Kante got a couple as well. 3 OG, so that's 3 Arsenal players putting the ball in the back of the net in favour of Chelsea. Emerson Palmieri got himself 3. Matteo Kovacic got 4. Loftus-Cheek got 5. Christensen also got 5. Tomori got himself 8. There he is. The Hershey bars are on me. Christian Pulisic got himself 8 goals. Giroud got 9. Tammy Abraham got 18 goals. William 19. Of course, Mason Mount 30. We already saw that. Let's take a look at Arsenal then, shall we? Their goal scorers. Eddie Nketiah, or whatever you call him. 1 goal for him. Callum Chambers got himself a couple. Bukayo Saka got himself a couple as well. Torreira 4 goals. Ozil 6. Caballos got himself 6. Bellerin 8. And there you go. Nielsen, Lacazette, Luiz, Martinelli and Aubameyang up there with 35 goals to his name across the divisions. Now, we looked at goal scorers and all that kind of stuff. Another key factor to change games is red mist, red cards. How many of those did we see? Just to clarify, 135 goals for Arsenal, 1.17 goals per game. Does that mean they won more games than Chelsea? We'll take a look at that in just a second. But red mist. Let's talk about the red mist then. There was a few. I don't even have the numbers in front of me. We'll see how many red cards there were. Maybe about 10, 12, something like that. Achapacha got himself sent off once. So did Nkante, Palmieri, Kovacic and Abraham. All got themselves 1 red card to their name. It's the Arsenal player. Now, like I said, also got a red. Martinelli also. Kolasinac, he got a couple, and so did Torreira, totaling around about 0.09 red cards a game. So very rare, but maybe 1 every 10 games, something like that. So what do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 reds in total across the 115 simulations. So yeah, that's the most of the numbers, the goals, the red cards, and all that kind of stuff. Do you know where we're going with this? Do you know where they're going with this? Well, there is. We're going to take a look at the breakdown now in just a second. Now, before we get into it, I want to see, of course, DigiCass has been predicting the FA Cup since the early rounds, and she's not going to get her own video today. So in this video, right here, right now, we're going to take a look at what DigiCass thinks would happen in the FA Cup final. Here's her own prediction. Let's go. So now that you know what the cat thinks about it, now what do I think about it? Well, what does the simulation think about it? Well, let's get into it. The nitty gritty now. Here we go. So total, there was 115 games played from 90 minutes, extra time, penalties, the works. 115 games. Arsenal won 59 of them, just squeaking ahead of Chelsea with 56. Now, don't go anywhere. That doesn't mean it. That's just nothing. That's nothing. You want to see what those numbers mean. Break them down a bit more then, shall we? So, of course, into an actual 90-minute match, Arsenal are on top. 41 games they won. 33 Chelsea. Total 71 games were decided. Out of the 115 were decided within 90 minutes. Arsenal picking up 41 of them, and Chelsea 33. Into extra time, or more than 90 minutes. This is where's Chelsea's domain. That's right. They won 23 of 41 games that went the distance, and that's penalties, extra time, that works. Arsenal just winning 18 of them. Out of those, extra extra time, Chelsea won 15 of the 24 games that were ended after extra time. So they won 15 of them, Arsenal just the 9. So basically what I'm saying here is of course Arsenal coming out on top overall, and they did win the majority of the games played within 90 minutes. But if the game does go past 90 minutes, it's looking like it's Chelsea's. That's right. And of course, in penalties, ooh, it's a little bit of a different story. Arsenal nick it. They won 9 of the 17 games that went to penalties. Chelsea won 8 of them. Goodness gracious me. That's the tail of the tape right there. So, like I said, 90 minutes, it's Arsenal's. Extra time, it's Chelsea's. Penalties, it's Arsenal's once again. Goodness gracious me. So what else did I find out? Well, to be honest with you, if we're gonna grind all the numbers and all the kind of stats down to a scoreline for you to take away with you right here, right now, this is what the simulation comes up with. It's coming up with a 2-1 win in favour of Arsenal, with Aubameyang and Martinelli on the score sheet, and Mason Mount getting a bit of a consolation goal for Chelsea. Now, what do you guys think about the old predictions, the simulation? Do you agree or disagree? Also, get your own predictions in the old comment section down below. We'll do this all again, of course, for the Championship playoff, the Champions League final, and the Europa League final. Fingers crossed. They're going to be a little bit more tricky to do than what I've just done today. So yeah, not too shabby indeed, boys and girls. Now, if you want to take part in your own simulations, just get yourselves a copy of Football Manager. In order for me to, how I did this was I had to grind through the season, kept on rebooting, restarting until the results kind of panned out the way of course the FA Cup went. So yeah, what do you think? Will it be Chelsea? Will it be Arsenal? Of course, both managers have had their hands on the trophy. Both clubs, multiple winners of the cup game out in England. But who will be smiling come 1st of August? That's what I've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. Of course, if you are new, smash your subscribe. New videos every single day on the channel, whether it is football simulations from Football Manager, predictions, Blackburn Rovers. We got it all here, babies. Under one rooski. Show the channel some love. Smash the thumbs up. Smash the subscribe. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Hope you have a good day, cup day, all that kind of jazz. Until then, I'm out. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date. All things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.